right, so inside this box was a bunch of air pillow pads. And the other thing that's in here is a 3-tier shelving unit. So I'm going to pull this out of the box and let's go ahead and put it together. Alright, so I pulled everything out of the box. All the different pieces are wrapped individually in a little plastic bag. And here we have some pictorial instructions. There is no wording, so you just have to follow the pictures and put it together. So that's what we're going to do. Starting with step 1, which is taking E's and F's and putting E and F together, and then C and D together. And those are going to be your shelves. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so I have 2 C's and 2 D's, and basically you take a C and put it together to the D, and I believe using this little latching them together. Oops, I'm gonna make sure this is on the outside. I don't think I put it on the right way. Okay, so this clip is pretty hard to put on. You really have to pull these together and you have to use your thumbs to snap that in. But that is the way the bottom and the second shelf come together. So this is going to be the bottom shelf. And then the middle shelf, we are going to put together like, oops. Like this. And then we're going to maybe so I have it, and as you can see, it doesn't quite fit, and these are all the way down seated to the bottom, so I basically have to pull it towards me and then use my thumbs to snap it down in place. So that is the top, or the bottom, and the second shelf. And then the top shelf is a little shorter, not as wide, and it's going to be the same way with this one. Again, putting the 2 pieces slightly together, pulling that around, and then again you're going to have to pull and snap that on. So there we have the shelves put together, and so that basically takes step 1 together. So step 2 is going to be putting something on all the feet to the both sides of the shelving unit. Okay, so here we have the 2 sides of the shelving unit, and these are the rubber feet that are going to screw into the bottom of the shelving unit. And it's pretty simple, hand tight, doesn't take much. And I'm assuming you can also use this to level the shelving unit as well if you have an uneven surface, because it just screws on. So if one side is not as flat as the other, you can use that to level them. Okay, so that is step 2. So step 3 now is going to put the sides onto the bottom shelf using, looks like, doesn't say, but I have a feeling I'm going to use the screws and the lug wrench that came with it. I'm going to take this and one of our bottom shelves, and basically you can kind of see there's a little plastic piece in there with a it's got the what's it called, the thread. It's threaded, it's a threaded hole. So I'm basically just going to start these And then I'll get the lug nut, lug wrench, and kind of just tamper them down a little bit until they touch. I'm not going to tighten them all the way until I get the others on there. So then I'm going to do the other side. And again, all right, so kind of basically putting the screw in here and using the Allen wrench to get it started. For some reason it's not, I don't know if I'm cross-threading it or what, so I'm going to tighten the other side first and then take a look at this screw. Seriously. Yeah, I just noticed. So, of course, it doesn't tell you the right side or wrong side, and I just found that this has an indented part, so I think I'm putting this on backwards. I'm going to flip it over. Okay, so I have completed step 3, which is putting the sides on the bottom shelf. Step 4 now is going to be putting the top railings onto the sides of the rail, the whole side shelf of the rack. So step 4 is pretty simple because you don't, even though there's holes in the bottom of the top part of the rack, you don't do anything until you put the second shelf in. So that's the holes that are going to hold both the top and bottom part of the rack together along with the second shelf. So we're going to go ahead and then now insert the second shelf. Second shelf again is still the wider one. So again, you want the hook, making sure the hook is facing downward so it doesn't snag on anything on the shelf. And again, I'm just going to use finger tight to start these. And then I'll flip the side over and finish tightening them up. So now that I got the screws kind of like finger on just to get them started, I'm going to go ahead and use the Allen wrench and then tighten them down. And because I have the first and second shelf both on there, I'm going to go ahead and tighten all 4 on each side, just because the top shelf is smaller and shouldn't have as much pressure on it. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten all of those down. So now I have step 5 done. Both shelves are on. And the last step, step 6, is putting on the top shelf. And I have 5 screws, so they give you 1 extra screw just in case you lose it or break it or have issues with it. So I'm going to go ahead and put on the final shelf. So unfortunately, I didn't take a before picture, but we had basically just single row shoved full this cupboard, and I put this two shelf unit in here, and I was able to double stack some stuff and get some stuff and have some empty space in our cabinet. So anyway, works great, and can't wait to do the other cabinet now. Thanks for watching.